All right, let's talk about the G chord. Now, I thought what I'd do is do like a musician's perspective. So, normally when you learn guitars, it's, face view of the guitar. But this is what you're looking at when you play the guitar. So, when you're going to play the G, the first marker is you find that first dot right there. If your guitar doesn't have one, it's the 3rd fret. And you put your middle finger right there. Now, I like to start there because that's the root of the chord. Remember, a chord is made up of the 1, 3, 5 of the scale. So that's the major scale. So to make the chord, instead of 1, 2, 3, we go 1, 3, 5. Those are the notes, the arpeggio of the scale. And then when I put them together, I need to have a G, a B, and a D. So the root, there's my G, and then if I put my finger here, that's the B. This is what a 3rd interval sounds like. Now if I play the next one open, that's a D. So now I have my 3 notes in the chord. And if I just played these 3 strings, sounds okay. It's a little muddy, it sounds okay. But excuse me, with an open chord, you want to have some octaves in there too. So we've got G, B, D. Here's another G. Here's another B. These are just the open strings. And then you can put the last G here. Remember the low E and the high E are the same. So right here, if I play the low E and the high E, I'm getting the octave. Now if I put them all together, there's my G chord. And it's just these notes, but layered on top of each other. And then once you have your G, there's lots you can do with it. There's so much. This is just the starting point. If I wanted to kind of bounce, I could go. And what I'm doing is I'm starting by playing the root and then the 3. Now, what's also really cool about the G is if I just switch my fingers around like this, I can now add this right here to make it a 7. And it's a little hard to play because I've got my camera like right between my arms here. But the G7 sounds like this. And if I take my finger off, I get the G6. And then I can add my pinky and get the G. Now also, that seems pretty hard. That's pretty hard to start out with. But there's something that I like to call the easy G. And for the easy G, you just put your finger on the 3rd fret, the 1st string, and don't play the 5 and 6. And there, you got an easy G. So instead of doing this, we just take these off. Now if I were to play all 6 strings, it starts sounding muddy. It doesn't sound good. But for a nice G right here, and if I wanted to do a 7, I just play here. And if I want to play the 6th chord, and that's a fun thing for you to play around with. Just playing the first 4 strings and then moving your finger here. And you can experiment and see if it sounds good in other spots. And you know what? That could be the starting point for you writing a song. All right, so there is the G. There's, so also, I could kind of go on forever here, but if you want to practice your palm muting, you kind of put your palm by the bridge and it'll sound like this, which is a really great tone. I like that tone. And for dynamics, like sometimes you want your chords to be nice and long and strung out, but sometimes you want it muted and a little bit softer. So practice your different strumming, try making up different patterns like down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. You know, lots of different things. You can just do up. You can just do down. You can do just down with palm mute. So you could easily spend a whole afternoon just playing around with the G. Let me know in the comments how you do.